Thank you, Anita, and thank you, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here in Delavan, Wisconsin. I grew up in Lake Geneva. I graduated from Badger High School. I have many friends that attended DDHS, and it's just so wonderful to see the support here. And I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for standing with immigrants. In a time when we often feel excluded, discriminated against, and even targeted, it's a necessary reminder to know that there are people who have our back. Your support means more than you will ever know. Thank you for standing alongside us in this critical time. As the administration tries to strip us of our dignity and humanity, together and only together, I feel confident that we will overcome. Right now, we're living through a defining moment that requires us to fight. I see some young people here, so it's just really wonderful and encouraging to see the multi-generational support that this cause has, and as we have been brought together. And you know those history books that you read and your teachers ask you to write reports on? Well, we're living in one of those moments right now.
Thanks.
Will this be yet another shameful chapter in our nation's history? Or will we take our nation back? What can we expect the outcome to be for our community, for our country, for our economy, if we separate millions of families, if we deport parents and workers, and rip integral community members from our cities and towns? Well, I'll tell you what you can expect. In Walworth County, there would be no tourism industry, period. Immigrants are a key workforce that help run hotels and restaurants in Lake Geneva and Delavan. The dairy industry would be hit hard. Who would Wisconsin be with the dairy industry in shambles? While the contributions of immigrants are important and necessary context, immigrants are worth so much more than our labor. If we're going to make it the next few years under this regime, we must see the humanity and dignity in our immigrant neighbors above all else. We already know that this administration's immigration policies are nothing short of draconian. But what many didn't anticipate was how they would also hurt so many Americans. Just ask our neighbors in Minnesota. The way that people of all backgrounds, neighbors, stood up and protected each other is not just admirable, but it's an extraordinary example. They showed us that to stand up for immigrants is to stand up for the American dream. Let me say that again. To stand up for immigrants is to stand up for the American dream. So if you're here like me because you're sick and tired of being outraged, you are sick and tired of children being literally ripped apart from their parents because the mother or the father was born somewhere else, you're in the right place and you're with the right people. But it doesn't stop here. And what we do next matters. We need to keep organizing. We need more people in the cause. This park is really big and we could bring more people next time. Let's bring a friend, more family members, a neighbor to an upcoming meeting or action. And to those of you that are already so involved, thank you. It is because of you that we're here. 2 things that you can do today. First, I want to ask that you help us bring a Wisconsin grandmother home. Elvira Benitez has lived in the United States for 36 years. She has no criminal record. She and her husband were arrested by ICE on a family vacation when they were visiting Niagara Falls and inadvertently drove into Canada. She and her husband were arrested by ICE. Community support won their release, and a federal judge called for release. The family was reunited briefly in December of last year. However, she was recently rearrested and moved to a detention facility in Kentucky, far away from her family here in Wisconsin. While her legal proceedings move forward, she she could be forced to be there for the next 18 months. It's at ICE's discretion to release her or to jail her. You can support Elvira by signing the petition to her deferral representative, asking them to put pressure on ICE to release her. You can go to vdlf.org to sign the petition. vdlf.org. Second, we're here today to say, no king! No king! And as part of this National Day of Action to resist authoritarianism, to assert our constitutional rights of free speech and protest, and to hold this administration accountable. We condemn this administration's brazen corruption, chaos, and cruelty. Trump and Stephen Miller are using ICE and CBP to suppress dissent and impose a racist policy of mass deportation. They are threatening to do this and continue to tear our families apart. We must disrupt their efforts to implement their policies and advance our own agenda that is productive, that is forward-facing, and that keeps families together and moves Delavan and the country forward. So this year, we're calling on all of our allies to join us on May 1st. Voces de la Frontera for many years has led these actions, and this year, we're going big. We invite you to join us for May Day, which will be a national day of action where hundreds of thousands will gather in the streets in peaceful protest, a powerful tool that we have used over and over, again, to bring down these wannabe dictators. The National Alliance is making the following demands: abolish ICE, citizenship for all, and tax the billionaires. Lastly, as I speak to you, my voice is not just mine. It is of my community that is in fear. It is of my parents who are immigrants from Mexico, who sacrificed everything so that I could have a better life. It is the voice of my son, who is 5 years old, who, if you ask me, doesn't look very different than little Liam Ramos. In my voice, I hope that you hear the strength of millions, not hundreds, not thousands, millions of U.S. citizens who have the privilege and honor of being the children of immigrants. If there's one thing that our parents taught us, it's to fight like hell, especially when all odds are against us. We're used to that, and we know how to overcome it. And in November, not just me and our communities, but all of us here today, in November, we will remember and we will cast our votes. See you on May Day and see you at the polls. And I want to, if you will, indulge me, at Voces de la Frontera, we close out our events, and I know we're just getting started here, but wanted to invite you into the tradition of chanting, Sí se puede. Yes, we can. Today we're saying no kings, and we're saying yes, we can overcome this. So if you will join me, and I think, Tenoch, I'll need your help here, Miguelito. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede.